Welcome to the hottest real estate topics on the planet, keeping you up to date with all the creative ways to buy and sell real estate without bank qualifying, so anyone can build real income starting today. Here is another great show with Dealmaker Bill and Pete the Rookie.
All right, here we are at another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies. I'm Bill the Dealmaker.
And I'm Pete the Rookie.
You are?
Yep.
What's happening this morning?
I don't have to complain about being anything else because I am what I am, and that's all that I am.
So that's where we're going to go on this, huh?
Yes, I don't need titles. I don't need status. I just have to do my job.
Oh. So what do we have, like a religious moment or something?
Well, it's like when you're in high school and you're a freshman and you sure wish you were cool, but you're not.
Okay.
Then you're a sophomore, you sure wish you were cool, but you're not.
Okay.
And then years go by and you're 40 years old and you realize you're not worried about being cool anymore.
Yeah.
So you must be cool but when you're not worrying about it.
Oh.
So when you stop
Okay.
worrying about it, you're cool.
Okay. You put your mic closer to your mouth so we can hear you.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what I did when I was in school and I wasn't popular? I stopped going. and people in the room shouldn't be doing that because it's taken me a lifetime to catch up to that.
Oh, boy. Well, what I did was I got the band to play a few of the shows at the school, so I got myself on stage.
Oh, you turned hippie.
Well, that regardless of the
Did you
hippie,
see that, Emma?
No.
Did you see that? He turned hippie, and he just like a deer in the headlights. He just froze. He didn't know what to say.
No, because you're about a year ahead of yourself there. No, in high school, Catholic high school, there's no hippie.
Oh.
There's no hippie. There's nice short hair and, behave.
Yeah. So we're total improv this morning because my little piece of paper here that I normally write the names of my shows on, I don't even have it written down.
Yeah, see, not only do I not know what the show is about, you don't know what the show's about.
It's a special show today. You want to know why?
Because you don't know what it's about?
No, I know exactly what it's about.
Oh, all right. What?
It's a special show today because today is show number
50.
And
Where's
you've
the
been
donuts?
You've been waiting for that.
Yeah.
Last week we said we were going to get donuts. Well, the donuts are still at the donut shop.
I don't think that works for me, Bill. Besides, I was expecting way more than donuts. 50 shows.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting like a little party, little hats, confetti, something.
Oh, so who was going to do that?
Well, I offered. You say, no, I'll get donuts. And there's not even donuts. So, I think I better take... Oh, I see. You know what happened here?
You put me in charge.
No, you tried to take my entertainment hat. And I have the entertainment hat.
You're right.
That's what botched.
You're right.
That's what botched.
Okay.
You keep to your job, I better keep to mine. So I'll better think of something intelligent to do this week.
Well, here's the bad thing is that...
For Mother's Day weekend.
Bad thing is I'll take on jobs like that and then realize, oh, shit, when am I going to do that? Because I'm already doing like tons of hours already.
Yeah. I'm watching you.
Yeah, don't watch me too closely. The checkbook is empty, and I'm like going through a period right now.
I said watch you, not stay too close
yeah.
to you. I'm sitting, I got a table between.
Seems like all I do is write checks going out, and nothing's coming back in, and I'm like, I got to fix that. So the name of today's show, should we say it now, or should we wait till the end of the show? We should say it now, huh?
Well, I like to know what's going on.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Helps me know when to speak and when to be silent.
Yeah? Okay, good. So I'm going to call the name of today's show Money Now, Money Monthly, and Money Later.
Okay, I'm in.
So what does that mean? Money Now, Money Monthly, Money Later.
Sounds like the best way to construct a real estate deal where you get money in the front end, you get money as it goes along, and somewhere down the road, even more money.
Yeah.
3 profit centers. How about if we call it that? That's fancy words.
So a few weeks ago, I don't remember which episode, because we kind of like talk about more than what the episode name is.
Sounds like last week to me.
Yeah. We were talking about the 3 ways you get income, remember?
Yeah.
So it was active income, passive income, and then what's the last one?
Equity.
Yeah, but
Equity. I forget. Net worth.
Net worth.
Yeah.
Right.
As your.
Increasing net worth.
Yes. And I told my wife, who's the bookkeeper and the stats person, to get all my stuff down.
Yeah.
Don't got it down yet. But
yeah.
QuickBooks is coming in the mail any minute now, and we're going to get all that because I actually don't know where I stand right now.
Did you get that, Emma? Huh? Did you get that?
There was nothing funny in that.
Huh?
What?
What is this now?
Yeah, I figured you would want to jump all over that. Did you hear what he just said?
I did not.
QuickBooks is coming in the mail.
Is that wrong?
Tell him, man. Go ahead. You tell him.
You just download it. Just go Google, type in QuickBooks download, and just download it.
I told her. She says, no, I told her. She said, no, I got it on order. Okay, she's even older than me. What can I say?
I guess I can't say anything because my boyfriend still uses TurboTax on CDs.
Well, the problem is nowadays you can't even buy a computer. We're using a clunky old Mac that I have because we can't buy a computer with a DVD or a CD-ROM on it. It's got to be external, and who the hell wants to carry around 2 or 3 devices? That's pretty stupid to me. It should all be in one device.
Yeah, because nobody orders QuickBooks on CD anymore.
Well, that's why we're doing it. So hopefully the laptops will still come with DVD drives.
So Emma, let's put this in perspective. You want to have some fun?
Sure.
Yeah? You ready?
Should I leave now?
Watch this. You ready? I'm going to ask Peter some questions. We're completely off topic, just busting Peter right now, okay? So if anybody doesn't want me busting Peter, just send us in an email or chat us or whatever, because we're just going to have fun with this. Peter, I have a question for you.
Yes, Bill.
Put the mic in front of your face. So, in your lifetime, Peter, have you ever used a vinyl record? He doesn't want to answer. Your microphone doesn't work. Yeah, okay. So, Peter, in your lifetime, have you ever used what are they called? The
Bill, let me just
VCR.
Bill,
VCR.
let me just take people out of their pain of this long. I currently
So, Peter, in your lifetime, have you ever used a cassette?
I currently have in my possession a reel-to-reel tape deck.
See?
No 8-tracks. Cassette player, maybe someplace. VCR kind of doesn't work so hot. DVD, turntable, digital. Actually have all forms of communication.
There you go.
Thorough. Like a museum.
And at your age, that makes you sophisticated, right?
It makes me historical. It makes me historical. Hey, wait a minute.
Emma's laughing
Go
at
to the
you.
mall
and
go in like some of the stores like Urban Outfitters or Sam Ash, Guitar Center. Go look at the vinyl LP section that's growing and growing and growing by the month. Yeah. Who comes from the classic music rock era? Raise your hand.
Not Emma.
I do actually. I have a record player.
Yeah?
I do have a record player.
They sell them in the stores now.
Yeah.
So
it's nostalgic now.
Okay. You know how you take pictures on your phone, right? People. My mother goes, "Do you have your camera?" No, it's on the phone. Relax. Okay. You go to one of these stores, they have a photo booth. Kids go in with a dolly. Look, my picture. It's on a piece of paper. They're astounded. Their picture's on a piece of paper. The phone is like no important thing to them anymore. They're astounded.
It's
a
like
photo
a carnival
booth.
ride. They have them at carnivals. And you can like rent them out. Like Jessie almost got one for her wedding. Was a photo booth. She went with what she got instead, but you like rent them out, and it's like an attraction.
Yeah, I mean, it's no. There may be a trend here, so we have to look at houses in the same way.
So I was just going to bring that up. So people might think that we're way off topic here.
No, we'll reel it back in somehow.
No, but really, what we're joking about is something that really happens right now in real estate.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I did not. Oh, let there be light. I guess we forgot that earlier.
Might have forgotten to turn on the lights this morning. I'm sorry for that.
I'm looking at it. I didn't notice. There's light shining on the light.
M just joined the episode. Oh, wait a minute. Are we even recording, M?
Yes.
Are all the devices on? Are the cameras on?
All the devices are on.
Good. So, 5 years ago, it was completely, utterly, absolutely, totally different. I mean, it's a comparison. What we just did by accident. Well, not really by accident, but what was by accident is that you were talking about getting your QuickBooks in the mail. That was completely by accident. That was not planned.
It's not funny.
So, but it was something that I wanted to talk about today because it's very common that that people that are like me, been around for 10 years, think that what they do is the same as when they were trained. So even me, I mean, even you and I, and I'm saying me, mostly me because you're just kind of going along, we've been doing some trainings lately. Mm-hmm. We've been going to seminars.
Yeah.
Because you got to keep up with the times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now, let me give you a classic example, right? I got to remember the language. Oh my goodness.
Try English.
So, we use Pat Live as an operator. Right? But nowadays they use that virtual something VNR. IVR, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what happens is when it's a phone system that when you call in, you can set it up so if you dial 1, you get this. If you dial 2, you get that, and they actually answer questions.
Yeah, it'll ask, and then the person will say something. Then it'll ask something. And they'll
They'll either record or they can push buttons.
Yeah.
IVR, right? Mm-hmm. So you can get that. If you're wondering about that, you can go to callfire.com because they do IVRs. And they're not easy to set up, but once they're set up, they're all automated. 5 years ago, we didn't have that. And that where's that important? That's mostly important with selling houses. So when I sell houses, that's where I would use it the most, but we can use it in other things. And I need to check it out. I need to start using it. But 5 years ago, we didn't have that. That's like the difference between having a cassette and having a DVD, or having a DVD and having an electronic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the industry has changed quite a bit. I can tell you that I talk about very often that I used to spend $7,000 to $9,000 a month in marketing, right, to buy 7 or 8 houses and close on 2 or 3. Okay? And I want to clarify that because I've gotten a lot of question about that lately. So basically what happens is when you're buying that many houses, deals blow up. So you know that because this year or in the last 10 months you've bought 4 houses but only closed on 2. Why is that? Because things just happen or don't happen.
Well, there's steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and somewhere along the line something can happen and it goes away.
Right. So what happens is you need to be able to automate as much as possible. So nowadays with computers and internet and all that kind of stuff, because you got to just think about this: where was the internet 10 years ago? It's nothing like it is now.
Well, we didn't have the phones like we do right now.
Yeah, and then the cell phones is another issue, right? And completely off on a tangent. The way I look at it is in 1916, where was the automobile? It was there. We were using it. We knew it was like the newfangled thing, and it was going to make our life easier, right? But we had no idea what was going to happen 100 years later. And to me, that's how the internet is now. Where the automobile is, the internet is in the same place the automobile was in 1916. We're in 2016 or 17, and we have no idea what's ahead of us and how that's going to change. But I think that's the in this century. I think that's going to be the evolution that human beings will work on, just like in the 1900s or the 1900s was automobiles. Now in 2000, I think it's going to be the internet. So we have no idea what's coming, and how we're going to do things.
Well, it's an amazing tool, but it certainly depends on the people designing them, people using them, what they're going to be used for, and how well you can take advantage of them. Right.
Well, if you think about it, and we're way off topic, but if you think about it, in the early 1900s, the way the millionaires back then, which would be billionaires now, made their money was off of resources, oil and steel and coal and all that, trains, all that kind of stuff, right? And then by the time you get to the middle of the century, it was production. It's all manufacturing. The millionaires that were made in the middle of the century, 50s, 60s, 70s, was all manufacturing. But what happens is in each one of those industries, technology comes in.
Yeah.
And that's what makes wealth because, you take something like oil, right? Oil was, we're running out of oil. Well, what happened? Instead of using a carburetor on a car, they started using fuel injection. Instead of getting 8 miles to the gallon, now they get 30 miles to the gallon. So now instead of going 90 years with oil, now we go 390 years. You know what I mean? Because the technology just keeps getting better.
Yeah.
So with that said, the thing, and the reason why we're talking about this today is for this exact reason, because I think in the early 2000s. Now that manufacturing, because what used to cost $10 to make something, like a woman's dress, you buy it for $70, and it probably costs $35 just to make it, and then there was distribution problems, right? Now that same dress probably costs $5 to make or $10 to make because of technology. So the production world has become very quick, right? So now the money I think is made in distribution. So we have to, in the house business, we have to pay attention to that. So it's not about, because there's a lot of houses. In fact, I've been doing this 10 or 12 years, and I can probably count on one hand, or maybe two hands, the amount of vacant land that I've looked at that is developable. Right? There's vacant land, but with zoning laws and everything like that, so the amount of houses being built as opposed to 50 years ago is much less, I think. Okay.
You think is population changing? Growth?
I would imagine so. I'm not that smart, but
Because there's still a lot of more people are coming into the country, or immigrants, or more people getting born. You'll need something someplace.
right. So my point in talking about all this is because I think that the industry is going to come down to distribution. So it's the guy that could do the marketing and find the deals, and the guy that has a list of people that he can, like we do VIP. Well, I'm not doing it now, but we have done VIP lists where when you take in a property and you start showing a property, like my system, one of the things that we do is we'll put out our marketing, right, when we're selling a house, and we'll create anywhere from 80 to 100 phone calls. We'll create 30 to 40 people through the house and get that down to 7, 8, 9, 5, whatever applications, right? So the point is that, okay, so if you had 80 or 100 people that went through the house and you only got it down to 7 or 8 people, what happened to all the rest? So you don't want to be like McDonald's, right? Or any restaurant. You walk into any restaurant, which I can't even imagine why they do this. But you walk into a restaurant and like we stopped in a truck stop, right, when we were coming back from New Jersey, and nobody knows that we were there. Who knows we were there? We went in and spent money, right? We went and bought dinner, and we used the restroom and spent money, and they don't know that we're there. Nobody even knows Nobody even knows we were there. It's bizarre to me
That they didn't retain our identity somehow.
Yeah, and try to communicate to us later on.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Stop by again. Special if you're passing through something.
Right. So if our system doesn't allow that, if our system's like that, we're no different than any other McDonald's or you know what I mean. So that what that does is that puts them in a position where they constantly always have to spend all those millions of dollars every single month to drive people in.
And they're doing they're just focusing on new customers that way.
Right. So they don't do anything with their existing customers.
Yeah. Even I, with my little music lesson business, have boxes and boxes of I don't use computer because I do it by hand. It's simple. I have postcards. I just quickly address them, and I pop 10 in the mail every day now.
Right.
I'm pulling business like crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is people
I retain.
People do business with people that they know, trust, and like. Mm-hmm. So if you did business with them once already, and they're used to you, why wouldn't you go back for seconds? Mm-hmm. It's like that story, and I'm not going to do it today, but it's a story about how the guy that comes in, and he's a wealthy guy, and he comes in and he buys a pen and he spends $2,500 for a pen. And you go through, and I got this whole analogy: you do this and you do that and you do this, and he buys the pen for $2,500. You turn around, you ring. He gives you his credit card. You turn around and ring him out, and you hand him back his credit card. What do you say to him?
Thank you for coming. Want to buy another one? Or do you have a friend that wants to buy a pen? Or what do you say? Yeah,
you were close. Most people, probably because you heard the story, but most people don't answer the question.
I'm guessing.
Let me show you the pencil that goes along with that.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because why is that?
Side sell them, upsell them.
Yeah, but that's such a derogatory term is upsell.
Yeah. That's why I said side sell, because it's not even up. It's just
really what you're doing is you're hitting him at the point where he's happiest. He just gave you a credit card for $2,500. He's very content with you and happy, and he made a decision. Mm-hmm. So why not ask him if he wants something else? Mm-hmm. Right? Now, we do that when we're doing our presentations. We ask them, they'll rave about how great of a presentation it is and how much they learned. And I mean, really, out of all the presentations, how many times have you not heard that?
Never. No one's ever been mad at us.
It's always a raving.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I didn't know that. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad I did this. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
So what do we say? You know anybody else that would want to do that?
Sure. Anybody else wants to sell?
Because that's when they're happy. Right? I mean, whether we buy their house or not. And then we ended up buying Newington like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's really important. And why am I spending so much time on that in today's show? Because that could make you a lot of money in real estate. I mean, think of it this way. You sell a house, right? Mm-hmm. In our particular case, we're selling on a lease option, right? So we're going to lease somebody a house with an option to purchase, okay? And we're going to, do our marketing, right? And we're going to get those 70, 80, 90, 100 people to go to the house, right? Mm-hmm. To call, right? First of all, what we're going to do is we're going to put it on a phone number that tracks who called from where.
Yeah.
So minimally, we're going to have their phone number, which these days most of the time it's cell phone numbers. So we can actually take those. We can actually take those phone numbers and upload them into a texting system. Minimally.
Yeah.
Okay. And which, by the way, there's no violation because the texting system says when you first get a text, if you don't want these texts, just delete it and it won't come out. Just like an email.
Yeah.
You can unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Okay. So minimally, that could happen. Also, with the people that come through the house, we ask them if they want to be put on our VIP list. What's a VIP list? Well, every house that we purchase, as well as I do, it usually takes a couple weeks, at least a week or 10 days to get it up to the point or get it ready. Even if it's just a matter of just, changing over the electric and the gas or the oil and, cutting the grass and just sprucing it up.
Cleaning lady.
The cleaning lady. I mean, that's a week to 10 days right there. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but maybe you could do it faster, but it's always a couple of weeks before you sell a house. So what you tell people is that if I go to the market, it's going to be $180. My VIP list, I'll offer it for $175. Why? Because I know it's going to cost me $3,000-$4,000 to advertise it. So why not just advertise it to my list for a smaller price and just not have any marketing cost, right? And then sell the house right away, especially on a lease option.
Yeah, both sides win that way.
Right? So that's technology today, and you can do that easily, right? So you want to build a VIP list, and then when you're out looking for these deals, which we're going to talk about now that we're 20 minutes in, we're going to talk about money now, money monthly, money later. Okay, so the 7 ways that I buy houses, okay, I'm going to rattle them. If you want to learn more about this, go to flippinghouses.club if this is your first episode, which I hope it's not at 50, but maybe it is. It's amazing, this podcast. It's amazing what people are doing. We're at like over 230,000 downloads. I never thought it would go this far. And to some big podcasts, they probably think that's not a lot, but I think for a couple knucklehead guys, I think we're doing pretty good.
Where? Well, what I like about working with you is you never know where it's going to wind up. You just start, and it actually unfolds as it goes, and it just kind of grows itself and kind of comes to life wherever it has to take itself.
Yeah, for sure. How are we doing over there, Emmett? Any questions? No? Okay. So, anyways, so what I'm saying is when I say money now, money monthly, money later, it's the same analogy of active income, passive income, and your equity, right? Or
how's that relate to the 7 offers?
So what happens is when you're looking at those 7 offers, some of them offer all 3. Money now, money monthly, money later, and I just decided to use that language because I've heard it before and it seems to make more sense.
It's simple, but it sounds good.
Right. So, out of the 7 offers, and let's rattle through those. Like I said, if you want to learn about these, it's at flippinghouses.club. The first one is a slot deal, which is a sandwich lease option transaction. That's for people that have no equity. Then you have option deals, which is somebody that has 10% in equity. And then there is lease option deals, which is someone that has where you're buying with a lease to purchase, a lease option. You're leasing, but you're controlling it with an option. That's someone that has 15% equity. Okay, and then you go down to subject to, which is getting the deed, where you would actually the person would actually deed you the property, and you take over their payments. And there's a specific way to do that, so you don't trigger the due on sale clause. And a lot of people think that's a dangerous way to do business, but I think that's the best way to do business. The people that say it's dangerous just don't understand it, including attorneys, because it's very legal and very, very easy to do. The reason why I know that is because almost every politician puts their house in the entity that we use that does this, and it protects it. It was designed by politicians to do it this way. So it's actually a multi-million-dollar secret.
By the way, the lead I got the appointment for tomorrow morning, I brought the paperwork in. Could be one of those.
Yeah. I got one. I did some phone calls yesterday, and I got one in New Haven. And I just said to the girl, it's a $63,000 house worth $100,000, and she's got tenant problems, burnt out landlord. And I point blank said to her on the phone, "Will you sell for what you owe?" And she hesitated for a second. She goes, "That would be great." I said, "Were you expecting to come to the table with money?" She said, "I thought I might have to." So
nice.
I mean, I don't know what the deal is. I haven't been to the house yet, but
Well, she's willing though.
Yeah.
So it's worth looking at the rest of the factors now.
So subject to or getting the deed is a 20%. They have 20% worth of equity. If you're going to do a rehab retail deal, I don't teach that too much because HGTV does a really good job of that.
I'm partially DIY myself.
Yeah, there you go. Your episode's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I emailed the producer yesterday to verify, and it's locked in.
So go ahead.
It's locked in for June 3rd. It's a Saturday night. I guess it's the 9 o'clock is the actual showing for new runs, and they have repeats at 9:30 and all that. But June 3rd.
June 3rd,
First
9
time.
p.m., Jesse and Pete did a DIY TV show.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded them in one of my houses.
Yep. And on that show, I am Particular Pete because of Jesse's complaints, and she's Jessie the Millennial because of my complaints. That's our new nicknames for that show. And we'll see who won in the end.
Yeah. So anyways, so the rehab retail deals are 30% worth of equity. Okay, so you have to buy no more than 70 cents on a dollar. Those are, by the way, the hardest deals to do in real estate. And then the next one down is a wholesale deal. That's number 6. You have to have 40% worth of equity. And then the last one is a free and clear house, which is number 7, and you have to have 100% worth of equity. So the reason why we talk about equity so much is because if you're going to make an offer on a house, the only negotiating part that you want to talk about is their equity, because the rest of it they really can't control. Okay.
It took me months to figure that out, no matter how many times you said it.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking so many things when you're looking at the deals, but it makes complete sense. That's the only part of it that has any wiggle room, because the equity is not a locked-in number. That's what somebody hopes they get,
right,
or what they might get, or what they're going to get, but you don't know until it's over. It's not a real number. It's taxes are a real number.
Right.
Closing costs are a pretty real number. Everything else is a
They're
real
hard
number.
Numbers. They're hard numbers.
Yeah. So the only thing you can negotiate and work with the person is the equity. I'm just saying that again because it took me a while to really get it, so I'm just going to repeat it in my rookie terms. That's important because you can do the equity all at once. Now you can spread it out. You can do something with it, and that's what I told the guy the other day on the phone before we got to the house. I want to have some idea what if he was flexible, and he was.
Right.
So, but it's the equity. That's the only place you can move the numbers around. A little more, a little less. Take it now, take it later. Something.
So I decided early this morning, at 5 o'clock when I first woke up, that this is kind of like our 50th anniversary. And I brought a
somebody
gift.
Burst in with donuts and confetti any minute now?
No. Don't get excited, Peter. But I did bring you a gift.
Emma, open that door. What? A gift?
I did bring you a gift. Are you ready?
Is it a digital download gift?
No.
All right. What is it?
I have to check with Emma first. Everything okay? I hear my phone blowing up over there. Okay. So
it's your mother. My mother already called me today.
Probably is my mother. So although I'm competing with her going to church these days, and I'm going to lose on that one. She goes to church on Thursday mornings now. So here's your gift. You've been asking me. I don't know how to word. I don't know because you've asked it like probably 30,000 different ways, which is what you do with me.
What,
when
my
you don't
raise?
When you get an answer, when you don't get an answer,
you just keep rephrasing.
You just keep rephrasing it and popping it into the conversation. You're like a dog with a bone. No matter what happens, we're talking about flowers, and you bring it back to your question. So it's
it's on my mind. I got to get it out of there.
So the question you keep asking me is the difference between a rehab deal and the rest, or something like that. You keep talking about that. What is the question? You think the rehab deal is different?
Well, I mean, the rehab deal is like a cash deal. It happens kind of in a short period of time, and the other deals are usually longer term leases, and they spread out more. Right.
So that's your answer. So there is a difference between some of the deals and the other of the deals. So the difference is terms or cash. Right?
Yeah.
So the difference is how many times you get paid. So what we're talking about today, money now, money monthly, money later, is done with terms deals.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So one of the things that Ron LeGrand says is that when you're buying rehab retail deals, you should plan on selling them below the average median. Right? When you're selling pretty houses, you should expect, and you're selling them on terms, expect to sell them above the average median. And that's your answer.
Yeah, that was strange. I've never heard anybody say that it should be a little bit below the median.
Right.
Because otherwise we look at comps, we go online, we see how many bedrooms and how big it is, and this house is like that one. It's similar. They're upgraded similarly, and they got that much for that one. We could ask that much, maybe a little more. We're trying to push it usually to get a little bit more.
Right.
But then sometimes you have to wait because you're competing with all that. I mean, he didn't say why, but I'm imagining why. Do you have any further opinion on why he says that?
Yeah, so it depends on your market. Like right now, the market in Connecticut is well, I think it's pretty hot, but I got to tell you, I've been really talking around the last month.
Doesn't sound hot lately.
The last month, it's not been. I mean, I've been talking to my students, and the letter responses or my mail responses are lower. And like I've got Middletown that's been on the market for 2 months, and I'm just now starting to get offers on it. You know, so
but that doesn't make sense because it's spring and that's supposed to be the hot season.
But it's not really spring though, because like today it's 50 degrees.
And just because it's colder, it's not really.
So I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's anyway. So it depends on the market. So if you have a hot market and if you have a unique, it's in marketing we talk about a unique selling proposition,
right?
Like the house in Hamden that I just sold. It's a 4-bedroom house. Most of the houses in a full 2-bathroom. Yeah. Most of the houses in the neighborhood are 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms. So there's a unique selling proposition there. Yeah. Right. So it depends on that. So some of those houses you can push the envelope, and that one I did. Yeah. Okay. But here's something that all of us get. We all get this disease, and we don't know it until it's too late. And it's called holding cost. It's a horrible disease, and I'm not. I hope people don't take offense to this, but it's like a cancer in the business. I mean, it gets inside of you, and you just can't get rid of it. It's just a hard thing to get rid of.
Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about that.
I never see that on the TV shows.
No.
So all this profit that you make, to be honest, but really.
So my house in Middletown is $9,300 a month. I mean, $9,300 a year in taxes. So every month, how much is that just in taxes? Yeah. $700, $800 in taxes. Yep. Then I got to keep the electricity on, and then I got to put heat in it when it's cold.
And you don't get to tack that onto the price.
No.
It's not.
Cut the grass this time of year. The grass has to be cut at least once a week. So I got to cut the grass. In the wintertime, I had to plow the snow. Yep. That's all. It's 50s, 100s here and there that all add up. And next thing you know, it's thousands. So you got a $30,000 deal that just turned into a $26,000 deal. Because of the holding cost, right? So that's rehabs, right? So those are the cash deals, and here's the downer, is you only had one profit, right? You only had one.
It's
profit.
Alluring to see that big bag. It's alluring,
right? So with these other deals now, okay, let's just take the two deals you had. Let's just talk about real deals, okay? So. We'll talk big numbers. So with Newington, we had that house. We bought that house. We did a $30,000 renovation thereabouts, right? What was it? 27,000 or 31,000 or something like that.
Between 28, yeah.
28,000. And we did so we bought the house. We did a $28,000 renovation, and sold the house on an FHA mortgage, and closed and did everything in 3.5 months, which was awesome. That's really good. Okay, we made $27,000 total. Yep. We split it, but we made $27,000.
Sounds respectable.
Okay, that's good if they all go that way.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing: we made $27,000. Okay, now again we split it, so we each made half, obviously. So it wasn't, but forget about that for now, because you're not always going to do that. Which, by the way...
Or we can get two and split it and be like the price of one.
By the way, I want to make a point on that about splitting money, okay? Because you have to pay for your education. Okay, so it's either you pay somebody $30,000 for an education, or you split deals with somebody like me. Okay, so my philosophy is if you haven't done at least 5 deals, you're not ready to go on your own. I think it's more like 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I probably split the first 30 or 40 deals with my partner.
Mm-hmm.
But we had deep pockets. He had deep pockets, and we were tight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm where I am today because of that. Okay? So I don't even know how much money I gave him because I split everything with him.
Mm.
But honestly, if you don't get somebody local to help you do like what we do in partner deals, even if it's just a money guy,
Mm-hmm.
you got to give him 50%. That's not horrible. It sucks when you get the check. When you only get a $13,000 or $14,000 check, and when you made you made $27,000, but you got to pay for your education.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way around that.
No, we have students, and we've talked to people that spend tens of thousands, like you have, and more, and still haven't bought a house.
Right.
And there's I've seen this little Facebook quip going out there like, "Stop buying courses, buy the houses."
Yeah.
At some point, stop
Yeah.
buying crap and just buy something.
Yeah.
Not crap, but just at some point you got to get off the horse and just go do something.
And you and
But
I
it's better. I'd rather be working with you than on my own, winging it and worrying about if I got it right.
Right. And that's what aggravates me, and anybody that's close to me knows that, because my coaching clients pay hundreds a month. Now, I got one of my coaching clients as part of a big coaching program, and they have somebody come in for 3 days to teach them how to buy a house, which, by the way, I bought them a house, and they're renovating it now, not the
Yeah.
other coaching group.
Yeah. How much was that bill?
Yeah.
From the other guys?
$10,000.
For how much?
3 days.
Yeah, that was kind of my offer when I was in not to be derogatory, so I won't mention, a 3-day workshop.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a few $100? Dragged the wife, and I'm thinking, you know how this stuff goes.
Right.
The next bill's going to be $7,000, $8,000, and it was 17. And it's like, we'll come out for a weekend. What if it's the wrong weekend? And then what? I mean, and where are you? You're in Florida. You're in Texas. Where the hell are you? I mean,
Right.
I wasn't comfortable with that.
So the interesting thing is I have people I talk to, coaches and stuff that I talk to, and they're telling me that the reason why we're not selling as much product on flippinghouses.club is because I'm selling stuff for $197, $297. It's not enough money. They don't take me serious. Which it's just the opposite, because I'm over delivering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got coaching clients. I've got 85% of my group right now has bought. They weren't not in the business,
Mm-hmm.
and they now have either done a transaction or are in the middle of doing a transaction. 85%.
Yeah.
Now those big guys, I know that they're not that much because I've been part of those groups.
Mm-hmm.
So I over deliver. I mean, I'm going to sit with a coaching client tonight, and he has somebody coming from Florida to meet with me. But he's got 2 pieces of property that I'm not going to talk about, but they're 2 pieces of property that are multifamily properties, and they're using them for special usage, and the income is $13,000 a month, and it's only 3/4 of the way rented.
Holy crap.
Okay, so how does he do that deal with somebody in a $30,000 program?
Mm.
I mean, I closed that deal for him, and he's probably got $4,000 or $5,000 a month in positive cash flow. Probably enough for him to quit his job.
Wow, that's
in
awesome.
one deal. So how does he do that? So you have to have your education. Okay, I don't know how we got off on that tangent. Other than so the cash, the deals that you do right now on the retail rehab,
Mm-hmm.
or rehab retail,
Mm-hmm.
are cash now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take a look at the lease options.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with a lease option, so you were to buy, we'll say you buy a house on any one of them, on a slot deal, on a lease option purchase, on a subject to deal. Forget about owner financing for now,
But that's my deal.
owner financing is even more profit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is you can, so money now means that you buy the deal, and the owner of that property that's selling to you is giving you financing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which, by the way, do you have to own property? Do you have to actually physically own it yourself to make money on real estate?
Nope.
Yeah. Isn't that the glory?
Well, the point is to control it.
And when you do that, when you control the property, okay, and you don't own it, you don't have to worry about all the risk.
Mm.
So if you're new, this is the best way to get started. Do a slot deal and just take your money, take your $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 and run.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and all you're doing is getting paid to structure the deal. And you don't need a license to do that because we do it with options. You know,
Right.
I've already explained that, but just go to the other episodes or go to flippinghouses.club and then you get that explained. So the point is this: you don't own the property in most cases. Now, subject to you do because the deed goes in your name, and there's specific times when we want to own property, like if it's now realize what I said in the beginning. So most of these properties are pretty houses. They don't need money.
Right.
If it's an ugly house and it needs money, it automatically puts it into the number 5 slot, which is retail rehab, or rehab retail. Okay, if it needs $10,000 worth of work, it's going to fall into that. The other place it can fall into is it can fall into a wholesale deal, which you usually can't buy that low on a pretty house, or you could buy it subject to if the numbers are right, because with subject to, you actually get the deed in your name.
Right.
So when you put money into a deal, you want to make sure you're protected with a deed.
Sure.
So that was just a whole lot. So why don't you just kind of dumb it down for me? So
when you buy the house, don't spend money on other people's house. No,
we had one of our students just recently tell us a story where they spent $10,000 on some property.
Yeah.
And he lost the money because the guy backed out of the deal and there was nothing. He didn't have anything and no protection.
No, it's as simple as would you put money in somebody else's house? No. So it has to be your house to put the money in.
You mean I can't have one of my students come over here and spend $10,000 to renovate my house?
Oh, that'd be okay for you. Yeah, no, you don't spend money unless you own something because it could go away and then you lose your money with it. It's gone. So
most of these deals we're doing on pretty houses. Okay, so what we're looking for is a motivated seller. So there's 2 definitions of a motivated seller. One definition is a person that has a problem caused by a house, and you can help them by eliminating the problem in the house. The other definition is that, which is what a lot of people go after, and it's a way to match your message to your market, because these are the ways you match your message to your market, right? Which we talk about all the time. Because if you want to hit a gold mine, just match your message with your market. So the other way that you want, the other thing that makes somebody motivated is debt relief.
Right.
So a lot of subject twos are debt relief. Lease options are debt relief. So if you're looking for those kind of deals, that's a great way to do it. The other one is a slot deal is a great way to do debt relief. They're stuck in a house that's over leveraged and they have to make a payment and they want to move. The kids or transfer or whatever, and they're stuck. Okay. So when you find those deals, they work really good. And when you buy those, the owner gives you financing, whether it be a lease with an option, whether it's just an option, whether it's a slot deal, a subject to deal, whatever it is. You don't have to go borrow money. The seller's giving you the money.
Right.
Now that you had the money made, right, now they have the money to buy the property, you buy the property. Who becomes the bank when you go to sell?
The owner.
Okay, so who's controlling the property?
You are.
So who's the bank?
The owner.
So who's controlling the property?
I might have lost something here.
Yeah, so who's controlling the property? Who's controlling the property?
Well, the owner?
No, I am.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I said that. You didn't like my answer.
No, it's the second part of it that you're missing.
What?
So who gets to decide who goes in the property?
Oh, well.
If you're controlling the property, you get to decide who goes in the property, right?
Well, Mike,
on a slot deal, you don't do that, but the rest of it.
Saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So on a subject to or lease option,
yeah.
Well, actually, you do get to decide who goes in the property on a slot deal because you're proposing it to the owner.
Right. Is there one where you have let the owner make the final call?
That's a slot deal.
Yeah, because he's the one staying in the deal.
So the slot deal, what happens is it's a sandwich lease option transaction. So you have a buyer and you have a seller, and you're putting the two of them together.
Right.
So that means that the seller has to be comfortable with the buyer.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just take your deposit money and you run. Okay. So, but who gets to make that decision? You do first.
Right. You're doing all the applications. You're marketing it. Right. You're getting the people.
And why would that matter to you? Because if you're the one making that decision, because you want to know, because the way you're making your money is in the deposit. I mean, what happens if you find a guy that's got an 800 credit score, but he's only got $3,000 down? You find another guy that's got a 600 credit score, but he's got $10,000 down.
The $10,000 looks good to you. It may not work on the seller.
The
If
point
it
is
pops
you're
down
going to make
road.
the initial sell.
Yeah.
You're going to make the decision. So if your seller is giving you financing, then that means you become the bank because you're the one that's controlling the property. You're the one that decides who goes in there and who pays.
Oh, yeah. You're the loan officer.
So you're the underwriting system in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So now picture this. You just eliminated how much trouble in a sale. Oh my God. How much trouble. How much you just went from being complete and utter and total effect to being complete and utter total cause.
But what trouble could a bank make?
Yeah. Yeah, we aren't going there. We're way off. We keep going off topic today. We're not going there today. Anyways, the point is this. 81% of this country is not qualified for a mortgage right now.
81%.
Of the United States. Now, I know that there's people that listen to us outside of this country, so I don't know what their numbers are. You know, especially, I think Australia is pretty close, but I don't know that. And I know we have people listening to us in New Zealand and all that. I mean, we got people all over the world listening to us. At least that's what the downloads say anyways.
So if they can find out this number from some research department, send us a ticket and we'll let you know what your country's percentage is. And we'll do an international average by the end of the year.
So 81% of the country is not qualified for a mortgage. So now what happens when you put an ad out that says house for sale, no bank qualifying? Right?
You get a lot of phone calls.
So that's where we started the show. So now you start collecting your names for your VIP list, right? And you start building your business, right? Because I'm going to tell you right now, the asset in your business, the intellectual property you should pay attention to the most is your contacts.
Yeah.
That's what you can sell.
That you're talking about as far as distribution and marketing and putting deals together.
Right. So the more now, will those people not buy a house later? And of course they will. But the point is that if you have that intellectual property, and I'm completely going diverse here, but is it possible that there's other things that they would buy, like maybe insurance and maybe a moving guy, and you know what I mean, and maybe an electrician, So is it possible that you can go out and do some networking and get some affiliate commissions based on other trades?
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I haven't done that.
I have never talked about that, but yeah.
It is possible, though. Okay, so that would be a little bit of work, and then you have to, maybe get somebody to do that, but it's just an idea. Okay? Point is...
I actually do that,
Oh, here we go. And turn down Pete's mic.
Back on. All right, thanks, Emma. Don't listen to him. I know he pays the bills, but we're both rookies. So okay. No, I have my advertising is for 4 instruments. So if a person has done 1 instrument, these 3 other instruments. And I actually, I wouldn't say upsold, but one of my mandolin students heard me play my ukulele and said, "I want one of those." She went out and bought ukulele, and she's switching entirely. So
good.
people will switch from something to something, or add something, move around. And I'm limited because I just do my music thing. But electrician, moving, plumber. I was actually thinking of that.
Insurance.
I was thinking of that, like when we do a renovation, if we use certain plumbers, electricians in our jobs, what will be the harm to tell the homeowner this was done by this particular person? If you need any help, contact them and you make a deal with them. Look, if you give me a break, I'll promote you to the person in the house. I mean, just thought that out of the blue. Just, why not? Can't hurt.
Yep.
You're trying to help your vendor a little bit.
Sure.
And keep the money amongst yourselves.
So now what happens is let's get on to this because we're way behind schedule. So what happens is once you get through all of that, and if you get the gist of the show here is the way that you're going to make the most amount of money is to make sure that you do marketing. You're marketing either for sellers, to acquire properties. You're marketing for money people to buy properties, because sometimes if you buy a subject to deal and you want to do $10,000 worth of repairs, how do you find that money? I give you 3 little letters. IRA.
Oh, yeah.
Find somebody with an IRA. Long term, once you get a 5 or 10 year return on his money at a very good interest rate, and you will have plenty of money. And you will find a lot of people with retirement accounts these days because they've been very popular for so many years. Why are they popular? Because they're tax reliefs.
Yeah.
People use them. So people that make money, $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, need tax relief. So putting $2,000 or $5,000 or $4,000 into an IRA is not a big deal. And next thing you know, they got $100,000 in an IRA. and it's
Right.
making 2 or 3% or 5%. And when you come along and offer them 7 or 8 or 9%, their ears perk up,
That's right.
and they can then fund that $10,000 deal. Okay, they're in second position, but it doesn't matter. They're safe. Okay, because you're at 80% loan to value ratio. Okay, so money now. So when you sell, you get a deposit.
Right.
Right now, that comes off the purchase price. So if we sell a property for $200,000 and somebody gives us $20,000 down, they owe us $180. So it's money now. It's still all part of your overall profit. It's just money now.
Right. And it looks good to the bank, too, because they have $20,000 down on the house. When they go for the loan, they have some money down.
Exactly.
Yeah, then they can't go in at 100% loan.
Or if they move out, they default the loan because they're giving it to you towards an option deposit. It's a non-refundable deposit. It's not like renting.
No, that's what option is.
Yeah, and by the way, when you do a lease with somebody, the way our leases read is they're doing all the maintenance because you became the bank. By them actually signing an option agreement, they become the bank. Okay? Something wrong?
We have a question when you have a second.
Okay. So they become the bank. Okay? Or we become the bank.
Right.
So now what happens is you got your money now. Then you get some monthly cash flow, $200, $300, $400. And then you have your equity at the end. So if you're buying subject to on a $200,000 piece of property, that means you couldn't have paid more than $140,000 for it. I think that's the number, right? No, $160,000, right? So you got 20 now. You got say $300-$400 a month in cash flow, and then you got another 20 when they cash out. And that's the way to make money in real estate. That's the way to build wealth,
Right.
and that's the way to make money.
You know what the difference of that is? It's a person's mindset. Because what happens to us novices, we see big bags of cash now.
Right.
And a lot of people do this because they need money, not because they have so much they don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So they're thinking, can I get a big chunk now? But then where's your future?
Right.
I mean, if you're young, maybe keep grinding away, but how many rehabs are you going to do before you get annoyed?
Well, it's a job. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I've got 5 rehabs, and it's my 6th one for the year, and I'm out looking for term deals. Because I'm working way too hard.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
It's great to have at least one because you can have a good chunk of cash. But what if you had one of those and 2, 3 of these others?
Yep.
One of those, 2, 3 of these others. Cause I remember talking to you years ago when you first started doing this. How's the real estate going? I remember you said, "Well, I got some blah blah," and it sounded like this to me. Well, I got blah blah lease option, da 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 da, and in 5 years I'll make a bunch of money. I'm thinking 5 years.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
I had no idea what you're talking about.
That's
really.
That's why I had to talk about money now.
Yeah.
Money later.
Yeah.
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 All right, Em, go ahead.
All right, so this is from Tom again in Denver.
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
He says, in Denver, most houses sell within 48 hours in a bidding war. So even motivated sellers know they have an easy out by listing the house on the market. How do you convey value to a motivated seller if they know they can sell as soon as possible?
Just get part of the deal, Tom. So what I did when my market was like that is I bought a lot of houses on an option.
And then he continues, does saving on closing costs by using an option agreement become the best solution to offer a seller in this market?
Absolutely.
Hey, he's tracking.
Yeah, he's doing good.
All right.
Tom pays attention. So yes, I would use option deals because if you have an elevated market, which it sounds like it is, right? I remember being in a house and on Friday night and or Saturday morning, and then let me think about it, and then I call them back on Monday, and they're like, "Oh, we listed with a realtor." Or they're like on Thursday, they're telling me, "Well, we're going to see a realtor tomorrow." I call them back on Monday, and they're like, "Oh, we listed with a realtor. We already got 3 offers."
Yeah.
So I started. That's where the options came from. That's why we don't talk about them that much because my market's not hot. But in a hot market, you would use an option because what you can do is now in your particular case, Tom, you need to listen to this episode again because what we were talking about today is vital for your market. Because what you want to do is when you advertise your property, okay, you need to collect identities. So when you sign the next option, you already have a mailing list of 20 people or 30 people or 50 people that you can promote to. So when you're signing someone up saying, "Hey, I want to sign you up on an option, and here's the reason why you would use me is because your unique selling proposition to your seller is I have a mailing list that I send my new properties to, and that's how I sell them quickly." So the faster you could build that VIP list, the more deals you'll get, because when you're sitting in someone's house doing a presentation saying, yes, I want to buy your house for $180,000, whatever the number is, and they're like, okay, well, what about your two unique selling propositions are, number one, they don't have to pay the fees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they have to pay their closing costs, but they don't have to pay the realtor fees, the 6%, or whatever that number is. And the other thing is I have a mailing list of people that are interested in properties because they've already contacted me about properties and they're ready to buy. So those are two things that the realtor doesn't have, and that's where the edge is going to become for you in that market, or for Tom in that market.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going to happen is you're going to be able to tell your person selling that I have these two things, one of which is there's no fees, and the other is I have a VIP list that I can mail to, and I can get activity in a matter of a couple of days. It's just a matter of me getting a mailing list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which, by the way, to get technical about this, MailChimp is a great email service to use. It's free for up to 2,000 names. Isn't that what it was? We just looked at that, right?
Yeah, I think so. If the next tier up is $10 a month.
Yeah, so a great place to store your emails and make your little opt-in form. If you maybe you can make a blog. If you guys, Emma does this for me in my marketing business. If somebody wants us to do this for them, to just email us at info@flippinghouses.club, and we could we could set that stuff up for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'll have to pay Emma to do it, but she's laughing. So, but we can do that. It's not hard to do. You can actually set up like a blog, and just have a place to send people or something like that. But the point is that you, even if you just gathered names on a piece of paper and went into MailChimp, which is very easy to use, and just put them in there, it's a place to put all your emails so you can do a mail distribution, distribution.
I actually have a real wad of buyers, but it's in a city that's not quite the one I usually work in. But
Right.
I kept those in case something comes up over there.
Yeah. Is Tom good to answer his question?
He says, great, thanks, Bill.
All right.
Everyone is dying to buy a house here but can't. Lowest inventory in a century.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good market. It's a hard market, but, Tom, you just got to get your marketing tuned in. That's it. So definitely some of the marketing that we talk about, I think he just bought a marketing course from me. Anyways. Yeah, Tom is going to be really happy when we come out with our release pretty soon, huh? What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. We've been behind the scenes feverishly working on creating a new coaching group that is going to be very cost effective. So Emma and I have been working on that.
And you don't have to be in Connecticut.
Yes.
That's the bigger thing.
Yeah,
It can, like Tom in Denver can get some private coaching.
Yes. It's we're actually building a new community. So it's
I can see it now. Flipping Houses, Denver branch.
Uh-oh. He's on fire, Tom. He sends me emails all the time. Yeah, no, he sends me emails.
Because, sometimes like our market's like a little hard to sell. His is hard to buy in, right? So if we work with him to find how to get houses, he's in shape.
I'm telling you, it's not just Tom. I opened. You were at my desk this morning. I was checking my emails. I try to check my emails in between everything, right? And it's just freaking amazing, Pete. I mean, this morning, 10 minutes before we come on the show, I get an email, a support ticket. I always check the support tickets first.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always get back to them the same day, but I check them first, right? And the email said, I don't even know where it was from. I have to look at it again. Somewhere, I think in Texas, maybe. Guy said, I really like your podcast. You guys do a great job. And we get that every email. It always starts off that way. I think we've had one complaint. I think I told you about that one girl, right?
So there should be 2.5%.
Yeah, right. So he said, I just bought a house for $20,000 and used my own cash.
20?
Because he's listening to their podcast. $20,000.
Wow.
And now he wants to know where to find money to renovate it. And so I'll send him an email back and tell him where to go look. And
yeah, and you know what? He doesn't know how to renovate it. He doesn't have the money. But don't worry about it. You got a house for $20,000. You're doing all right. The rest will come.
Well, now you use the house to get the money.
Yeah.
It's like you got the house, you got the deed, you got equity, so use the house to get the money. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
But it is truly amazing the amount of support tickets that I get where people are like, just from this podcast. So that's the part that is a little bit interesting is, because we talk about, are we giving away too much information? And then people don't buy our courses. But I don't think so, because people really don't know what they don't know. So, yeah, we give a lot of information away here. But there's so much more you have to know to get the deals done.
Oh yeah, I did 1 or 2 deals, with myself, and you helped me do everything. We did them together and all that. So I think I know how that goes. The next one wouldn't be the same, would it?
Right. Every deal's different.
Yeah. So I think, I did that. I guess I could do that again, but it won't be that again. It'll be like what happened this time, like your last deal. Different things are happening that I never saw.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not stupid. So we're together here.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to like sell anything. It's just that I can't do this podcast and not take responsibility for the information we're giving, and then not be able to help somebody in the back end.
No, they start down the road. Now what do you do? Thank you, goodbye.
Yeah, you can't do that. So I have to take responsibility for it. So what we have been doing is we've been we have courses online that are $197, $297, and that stuff. I'm going to tell you right now that we're in a real dilemma right now because my coaches are telling me that if somebody doesn't spend $7,000 to $15,000 on coaching, then they're not going to have good results. And I don't know if that's right or not. I really don't know. And if people spend that much money, they're going to listen to you. I get people that I give information to now, and they don't listen to me. It's maybe because it's not enough money. I don't know.
There is a weird aspect of that. And to digress, I try to get my students to buy really expensive equipment.
Yeah.
Expensive guitar. Not really on purpose. I try to encourage them to get something because then
Nice.
look what I got. I got to use it now. I can't just waste
Right.
it.
Right.
So you have a piece of crap, something or other. But you get started with something for real, then what do you do with it? And I'm shocked because I've seen a lot of your coaching students who come from other groups and spend a lot of money who don't have a house,
Right.
and you help them get a house. And the folks just doing it on the podcast,
Right.
it's crazy to me.
Right. Yeah, that's the part that I understand is if people can buy houses just with the information we're giving away for free, imagine what it's like when they get on our courses or in their coaching.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Well, we're trying to structure it because we both have an educational background and try to do it right as far as training it right, teaching it right, but not just words. We're trying to build it so that there's activity built in and steps and how do you actually do it? Not just it's this, but how? What happens if this happens? What do you do if that happens? We're trying to build that into it. So
It's one thing for me to tell you what to do. It's another thing to tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
So on the podcast, we're telling you what to do, and then in all the trainings, we tell you how to do it. And it's done that way intentionally. It's not a secret. But this new thing that we're coming out with, I actually think what we're going to do is we're going to put the group together. A little bit about we're going to put a group together online so we can help one another. And then you and Jesse and myself and Emma are going to be in that group to answer questions. And the purpose of the group is to get you deals. And then once you get a deal, then you can buy a module that would actually be a checklist that will walk you through the deal as you're doing it. So basically, you don't have to go study a bunch of stuff to learn how to do it and then go do it. The stuff we're going to do is you study as you go. So what's going to happen is you have a checklist, and it says do this, and it's a simple thing, and we're going to give you videos and explanations of everything so you can watch them prior to. So if you need to have some reality of how it works, we're going to have a video or two, that's where we're going to put our forms because a lot of people are asking for forms. So they can go buy a module on how to do a slot deal.
Yep.
And then that slot deal will have a checklist, and then in there will be videos on how to do each portion of the checklist, including how to fill out the forms and give you the forms.
All the way to the end?
Yeah, all the way to the end. So it'll be start to finish.
Wow.
Okay, and each one of the 7 deals will have a checklist and videos and its own module. So the object is that in this new group that we're forming, I show you how I'm going to disclose all of my marketing. I've been holding back on the marketing because it's usually for coaching clients, but I'm going to disclose all the marketing. I'm going to have everything there. You pay a monthly fee. You go in there. You get your marketing started. You get people start to call you. You fill out the prospect suspect form. Once you figure out what deal it is, if you need help, you can buy a module for not a lot of money. Buy a module that has a checklist in it, and you just do the deal. And it's a whole lot simpler. And the way we're going to manage it, it's going to be a community, not just coaching. And I'm going to be in there, and you're going to be in there, and we're going to be in there, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be awesome.
Sounds good.
So for not a lot.
Sounds
of money.
practical.
Yeah. Okay, good. So we need to go. So please do us a favor. We need to get our report card because we're 50 years together now. 50 episodes together. Oh, that's right.
Seems like 50 years.
So please hop on over to flippinghouses.club/podcast and click on the iTunes. Does it say iTunes? Yeah, onto the iTunes link and give us a review. We need some reviews on iTunes. We keep bouncing between 5 and 6 in the podcast
We're actually
iTunes
number
section.
4 right now. I just checked.
Oh, we're number 4. Okay, good. Excellent.
Yay.
So we're trying to get to number 2 or 3 or 1. 1 would be great, but we're trying to get under 3 instead of under 5. And the way we do that is with you guys going to iTunes and giving us a review.
Oh.
So just if you go to flippinghouses.club/podcast, on the top right-hand side, you'll see a link there that says go to iTunes and just click on that. It'll open iTunes for you, and you can put a review in there. And whatever kind of review you want. I mean, if you think that we suck, then I guess you can put that in there. If you think we're great, then that'll help with all the people that think we suck. Push those down. You're not supposed to say that. Oh, that's right. The other thing is you can get my free training at flippinghouses.club, which is going to change pretty soon. What? It's going to change pretty soon. So go ahead and get it now because pretty soon that's going to be getting moved. We're working on a new system now, so that's all going to change pretty soon. But there are 10 videos there to show you how to do the 7 ways that I buy houses. The other thing is we have had tremendous success, Peter, tremendous success with the beginner's checklist that I created.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that, Emma? What's the URL?
I believe it's
Getting started?
getting started. Let me check.
So it's flippinghouses.club/ Emma's checking.
It's going to take me a second.
Like what kind of success? What are people doing?
Dun,
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 dun, dun, dun.
So what are people doing with
So
the checklist?
what they do is they go download the checklist, and then what I have done is it's a beginner's checklist. So if you're just starting, I made a checklist of what to do. And then I think it's about a 2-week period where I email you every couple days to give you information or help you with the checklist to get you going. So there's an email sequence that I email you and actually find out how you're doing and what's going on.
Free training.
Free training.
/free training.
So it's, thank you, Emma, flippinghouses.club/free training. All one word.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Can we call it beginner's checklist? Just saying.
Yeah. It's because we promote that on Instagram, and it's the length of the URL. So, which is another thing you can do. You can find us on where are we? We're on Instagram, Facebook,
Twitter, Facebook are the main ones that we post to fairly often.
Tumblr. I post to Tumblr. On Instagram I do Tumblr. What is the other one? We don't do Pinterest. There's one other one too. I forgot the name of it. So damn many of them. Okay. So there's plenty of ways to find us. I don't know how we turned into all that, but I think we turned into all that because of the support tickets I'm getting. There are people that are reaching out that want help. Those are communities that you can go into, and fairly soon we'll be releasing the big community, the big surprise. So stay tuned. All right, Peter. So today we're going to make some training videos, you and I.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get the dumpster out to Piper Road. Hopefully.
I got the trailer hitch
Yeah.
in the car.
And we're going to work on a few other things. I got to talk to my private lender today, get the new house that we just bought on North Pearl Street, get that going. So we got some work to do.
I'm going to show you the property sheet for the house we're going to look at tomorrow because it's a subject to or a lease option, maybe a cash buy.
Good.
And I'll tell you about the man who walked into my house last week and offered me $470,000 private money for real estate purchases.
Nice. Good. We need to
Walked
talk
right
to
in
him.
the front door.
Need to talk to him.
Yep.
All right, good. So we're over and out. The last bombshell I'm going to drop is I think that starting in a couple weeks that we're going to actually do a post radio show, and we're going to in a coaching group.
A post radio show.
Yeah. So
Post
I
show.
call
Call it
this
post
I
show.
call this a radio show, but I think we're going to start. Emma was telling me about it this morning. I think we're going to start doing that. So at 10:30, although it's not 10:30, we're an hour and 10 minutes at this point. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a show after this for people that have questions.
Oh.
So
All right.
that's coming. All right. So we're going to go because I'm 9 minutes over. Emmett's telling me shut it down. So we're down. Over and out. See you next week.
So long.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest real estate topics on the planet with Bill and Pete. If you want to continue learning how to buy and sell real estate without money or credit, head over to flippinghouses.club for some cutting-edge real estate wealth tools. Or contact us at info@flippinghouses.club.